Hello, ladies and don't do that. Hi, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. Okay, so Queen Sugar. What I've realized with this show is I'm just gonna go and talk about what I want to talk about. I believe it's episode 11. And this episode, things slowed down. Thank the Lord. Somehow Nova is already ingrained. It's slowly putting herself back in the family dynamic. It's Micah and Kiki's prom. So everyone's there at Charlie's house and they're taking pictures. Hollywood is helping Micah with his corsage and even reminding him like, hey, look, whatever you do, you're grown now, but at least be careful. You know, be smart, be careful. If you're gonna do something, be careful. I felt like, okay, so at least that conversation was a little bit better than Ralph Angel's, because at this age, Micah's already 18, 19. Sure, he's not a virgin, and so it's just more so like, don't do anything even riskier than already having sex, which, you know, hypothetically something could happen. She can get pregnant anyway. But Ralph Angel wasn't there, and I did notice that. A big deal wasn't made out of it, but I did notice that when they were doing speeches and Nova was talking, Aunt Vi was ignoring Nova. Aunt Vi did her speech. Charlie's talking about, oh, her baby girl. And they go and leave, as in Kiki and Micah, and now Aunt Vi is also leaving with Hollywood because she does not want to be there with Nova, and Nova feels it. So we're gonna go and move on to how Nova is doing her super sleuthing. She's trying to get information on the Landrys, on her old world energy, and her goal is simple. Her goal is to see if they can get enough dirt on on them in order to prove that there was either fire, in order to go and help with the election. They just need a win. They need a win, and Nova may be able to secure that win. So Nova gave Charlie this information and kind of told Charlie, this will change everything. So you need to be careful about who sees this information, if you're going to use it or not. You have to be serious about this. I said, ooh, what is it? But Ralph Angel and Darla. So Ralph Angel, he's over at, I'm going to call her D, because I think her name starts with a D, his girlfriend. Well, now ex-girlfriend. Yeah. Ralph Angel apparently ignored multiple calls. There was a date that they were supposed to do. He ignored that. Maybe that's why she was calling, and he kept apologizing, and he acknowledged that, you know, the apology isn't enough because he should have just reached out to her instead of ghosted her. And she's usually very, you know, bright spirit, bright energy, but she is irked and irritated. But she's respectful because Blue and her daughter, maybe her daughter's name is Deja or something, they are really close friends. And so the only reason why she even saw Ralph Angel is because Blue wanted to do a play date. And I'm thinking, Ralph, come on, you're supposed to be maturing more than this right now. And Ralph Angel, he eventually has a conversation with her in her house that I said, oh, that must have broken her heart, but at least she knew the truth. Now Ralph Angel let her know that, hey, you're beautiful, you're great, you're smart, you're important, and I really shouldn't be breaking up with you, but I have to because I realized here's what's going on with Darla. She relapsed and Blue doesn't know about it, and so I'm trying to help her through that. And so then of course she understood that, but then when Ralph Angel continued on and said, honestly, he thinks about Darla all the time, and he realizes that he loves her. I forgot exactly what he said because it pissed me off, because what she said was right. What you're saying is the things that a woman would love to hear from her man, but you're talking to the wrong woman. And I'm thinking, how dare you say something like that to you? Oh. So then she says, no, I can't. I'm not going to be the third wheel. But I was thinking, honey bunches of oats, he was kind of telling you that you weren't going to be the third wheel either. But I respect the fact that she was like, I want to make sure you know that I know my worth. So we're not going to play this game of I'll wait for you as you go and figure things out with her type of thing. No, we're done. This is over, and we'll figure things out with our kids. That's it. I was like, dang it, Ralph Angel, Darla is not stable enough to pursue a relationship, and you're going to be the But Ralph Angel, he does talk to Darla later on, and they didn't even have the conversation that he broke up with his girlfriend, but she was going and she was laying in his lap, and because he didn't stop her initially, but then he did because he wanted to go and let it be known that, you know, she scared him. She scared him with the relapsing, with all of this, with everything that she's been holding in and how she's reacting to it. She acknowledged that she's called her sponsor and she's learning her steps again, and it's about accountability. Right now, she can't see Blue though. So Blue hasn't seen his mother ever since she relapsed. I'm thinking, oh, here we go with this mess. I'm thinking Ralph Angel's over it because he's starting to remember, like last time she had to go to her parents to go and become grounded again and get herself together, which there's nothing wrong with that, but he's been taking care of the child the whole time anyway. And to make matters worse, I'm like, she's trying to go and cozy up with this dude, and he was initially letting her, and then he realized, what am I doing? No. God. But he realized it too late. Dang it. Aunt Vi and Hollywood, I love the fact that they were able to have a moment. They came into the house, no family, no nothing. No family, no nothing. And Hollywood made a comment about Aunt Vi being a wet blanket, or, you know, rigid or boring or something of the sorts. He said it as a joke, but it really wasn't a joke because he meant it. He just didn't mean to hurt her feelings. But then I thought that she was going to get mad. No, she told Alexa to play this song. And I said, wait a minute, that's a little sexual. And then she starts stripping. Next thing we know, Hollywood has a smile on his face, and Aunt Vi's bathing him. And you can see that she loves her man. He loves his woman. It was a beautiful scene. I loved every moment of it. I was so happy for them. Wow, it's Thursday. I keep thinking it's Friday. It's Thursday. Okay. And Aunt Vi slowly working through all the stuff with Jimmy Dale. Micah and his crew are at the hotel. The guy who was in jail, I guess he's either still in jail or he just didn't want to be around the other people right now. So they were kind of talking about that. But then I said, this is a really cool group. And my friends were also kind of like this, where they actually talked about their aspirations. It was like 10 years down the line, where do you see yourself? And they had real tangible goals. And when I say tangible, I don't mean that they weren't thinking big. They were thinking big. But it was stuff that made sense because they were already working towards it. Like, I think one guy wanted to own his own law practice. One wanted to be like a bail bondsman, but like a Robin Hood bail bondsman, and help out people who can't afford like a couple $100 bail. One woman, I think she wanted to open a practice for like medical claims or something. So they were really in. Kiki wanted to do something like be an executive art curator or something. And then there was Micah. Micah is basically a legacy at this point. He's going to Harvard. I forgot where Kiki is going, and his life has been mapped out for him. And at this moment, he fully realized that even with all the other initiatives he's trying to do, his life has been mapped out for him, and he didn't know. He thought, well, I guess I'll probably be some high-powered executive at some firm to do something, because he was like, he has his photography, that's his passion, but as far as career, he has no idea, which is fine. He's around very driven people, fellow teens that know what they want to do and what they want to be, and they can of course change that at any time. He, on the other hand, his life, like I said, has been mapped out for him, and because it's been mapped out for him, he never really had to think about his future. His future was almost set in stone, if you will. So that's one thing. Another thing was they learned that, oh, Micah got another room. And so remember, Kiki, she's already nervous about losing her virginity. So the friends are kind of making jokes about it and being immature about the fact that he has this other room. And they don't know Kiki like that. So they didn't even think, okay, that's rude to her, even though we're just trying to josh on him because she's right in front of him. Later on, he apologizes and she was like, look, I genuinely don't know if I'm ready, and I don't know how to know when I'm ready. And I said, that's real. It's like, and the number one thing is don't do anything just because you can, or just because people are saying, oh, you should. So they slow dance because the prom gets rained out, it gets canceled, and I mean, it was like a hailstorm because Charlie also had to deal with Jacob. And Jacob, I think it was Boudreaux, because there's the Landrys and then there's the Boudreaux. And Jacob, he was there. He was trying to tell Charlie that she needs to be careful, needs to watch out for his family. And she was like, why? Because you and your family and morals and lack of morals. And he was like, look, I was raised a certain way and I was raised right. And she said, oh, really? And then played the audio of his mother calling her a mulatto, and how that, that's a term for, a mixed person, but a lot of times it's not used in a positive fashion by any means. And Charlie, and how the cotton, it's at its best and its purest when it's in its white form, as it should be, as it all should be. And so when he heard that, I'm sure part of him was shocked as far as how far his mom went. Not necessarily that his mom was capable of saying that. Maybe his mom convinced him that they were the good side of the family. And so after hearing that, and he really likes Charlie, she had to go and let him know, hey, drop out. He said, I can't drop out. You don't understand how this works. But maybe I can destroy myself as a candidate. And she was like, how can you do that? Well, no, she said she can help him with that. And that's thanks to Nova. When Charlie actually read the information that Nova had, and it was good. So Charlie calls up Nova and tells Nova, look at the news right now. Nova turns on the TV, and it's Nova, so of course it's on the news channel. And she was like, wait a minute. Charlie, what is going on? So he's still running, but it's a two-parter. Landry Enterprises, they've had, I guess, unfair rates for farmers, and how he was going to look into it. And, as a head person there, he is going to focus on that first so that he can really have a positive impact in his community instead of just running. Secondly, he learned that how important it is to really look out for the community, because his great-grandmother was actually a border loan, which means that the border loans and the Landrys or the Boudreaux or whatever, they're connected, which is why Sam was so grateful to Aunt Vi for all these years for not saying anything, because Aunt Vi knew the truth. Now again, that part isn't confirmed, but I'm just assuming, this is assumption, so I absolutely could be wrong, but that would make sense why he was just so grateful for her for not saying. And it was always like, what? And we thought, oh, they dated, but no, they're all family. So now it makes sense also about how the land was, it all ties together, because you think, how of all of these enslaved people and all of that, how were they able to? And so it's like, well, they're family, makes sense. And probably part of the deal is that you shut up as far as your lineage there, I shut up as far as my lineage here. And it's crazy because how diluted it is, because you look at Jacob and you would never think, never. Woo. Anyway, what, that was all I needed. It really was, because anything else that happened, like Nova and Calvin, he came to her, he missed her birthday, I guess, but so he came to go make it up to her, and they were talking about how they never played domesticated roles with each other. It was always, you know, dine, screw, and dash type of situation, and how if they're really up for it, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're up for it, but I don't really care about this relationship. Like, I'm glad Nova's getting some happiness, but ooh, next week the mess continues. Not the marathon continues, the mess continues. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe.